Hello and welcome to Dance Teachers Academy. I am your host, Jose on the mic, and with me is the lovely, amazing dancer, May. How are you doing?
I am fantastic.
All right.
In beautiful San Diego.
We are in beautiful San Diego, Champions Ballroom.
Toni Redpath.
Lovely lady, Toni Redpath here, who needs no introduction, so we're going to get right into this. Girl, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you for
Have
being
fun.
here.
No,
Yes.
right? No, I know you're busy, so I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. We are going to be short on time because,
Right?
yeah, she's actually in between
In
teaching.
between lessons.
She's in between
Really?
lessons.
Yeah. Finish when I'm busy,
Yeah,
I'll be
boom.
back out there again.
There you go. So, what's going on here in your town? I mean, we left Orange County.
Yeah.
Come down here. See, we got
Yeah.
busy doing some stuff over there. So, wanted to catch up to see what you have going on here on your side of the
I'm a
woods.
little bit of a hermit. I kind of stay in San Diego as much as possible. One, it's a gorgeous town. I'm
Oh,
originally
yes.
from
Beautiful
a
town. I
in,
love this place.
Australia, called Surfers Paradise. So I grew up for the first 15 years in Australia. So I was born in sunshine and Surfers Paradise. So I grew up with swimming and
wow.
water skiing and surfing and
Sure.
yeah. So then my dancing career took me all over the world. I lived in Norway for a few years, in England for a few years, and then one day my mum had moved over here with my stepdad Ray Rivers to San Diego, and on one of my visits I came over here and I was like, oh, it's so sunny. I had had enough of European winters.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And at the time I was thinking, gosh, this is career suicide, moving to San Diego. You wouldn't think of it being a hub of ballroom dancing.
Right.
But actually at the time when I came to visit them, it was when Rick Valenzuela was dancing
yes.
with Melissa Dexter,
Yes.
Champion Ballroom was open with including Ron Montez, Wendy Johnson, Mary Murphy. Like there was just this.
Look at you dropping names.
Seriously, it was like I walked in and I'm like, this is the dancing scene in San Diego. This is rocket. Like Tony Meredith, Melanie
Yes.
LaPatton.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just
Totally
up the
looked
road in
up to
LA
them.
was
Yes.
Heather Smith with Victor Barrese.
Yes.
So I was thinking, gosh, it's sunny, and it's my
gorgeous.
family's here. It's gorgeous, and there's this awesome kick-in dance scene going on here.
I'm staying.
Yeah, you can't get me out of here. So the Surfers Paradise girl was thrilled because I could get my sunny weather, and then the
Sure.
dancer in me was thrilled because there was just this barrage of amazing talent around me, and I felt like the opposite of career suicide. It was like the rebirth.
Wow. Yes.
The opposite.
And
Yeah.
you are come from a dancing family.
Yeah, I started. Come from a dancing. I got kind of married into a dancing family. My mum married my dance teacher, so but he was my dance teacher when I was 8 years old. So I feel like I grew up with him and with his
Okay.
kids. We all like danced together when we were younger. Mum and Ray eventually married when I was 15, 16. So I had already been with him for 8 years before they got married. Yeah, and so I was very lucky with that, having somebody of Ray's stature, his knowledge, his incredible energy and wisdom, growing up from when you're 8 years old under that tutelage.
Sure.
And then because he had traveled the world and been a competitor and, he was friends with a lot of the coaches that I went to overseas, I might not have had that door.
Yes.
That's a very good point, yes.
Getting, those lessons. Like I got lessons from Walter Laird, from Alan and Hazel, from Shirley Ballas.
Yes.
From Michael
Yeah.
and Vicky Barr, from Gleaves. All of this
Yeah.
happened
Dance
because
royalty.
my dad would, stepdad would call and
Yeah.
say, I'd like to book a lesson. And because he was calling, it's like I got the lesson, I feel like.
Right.
So I had his tutelage and then I had this doorway into amazing coaching when I was very young. So I was very lucky.
Wow,
Yeah, you were
that's just
definitely-
really cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
super lucky.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
Well, you definitely named like a who's who of
Yeah.
ballroom, right? But at the same time, I've always I've seen you in different situations and competition. People talk about you, my students who go to your dance camps, and you have a very wonderful air of humility about you, though. And you've had all these opportunities. How do you?
It's all an act. Totally
She's
not
faking
humble.
it.
Okay, we're done with the interview.
Secret.
She just dropped the mic. We're done.
No. I've been brought. I grew up Also, I grew up not good. Like I was not the talented one. I had to work really, really hard.
Wow.
I was lucky because I got a lot of great coaching, but I needed it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, okay, excellent.
I was not the naturally talented one at all. I had a pretty good work ethic.
Yes.
And I
That'll
had
get you a long way.
Yeah, and lucky situations, but I had to work really hard for everything that I got. I'm physically strong, but I'm not naturally flexible. I'm not naturally fast. So all of that had to be
that's
like
amazing.
trained in for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think I'm humble and just grateful because I feel like I got a lot of lucky breaks to get the most out of myself.
There you go.
Talk about that a lot too, though, on Dance Teachers Academy, but that people just really have worked hard to get to that level, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Because my older sister was like the ballerina, and her leg could go up to here, and mine was like barely
it's
here.
like,
Yeah, and I was
About
like,
to tear a muscle.
I started teaching. I started in a training class at 15. I was the only one left. They still weren't gonna hire me because I
Right.
was bad. I just like kept sticking around. They're like, okay, she won't leave.
Yeah, we may as well hire her. She's gonna stick around.
Yeah, so this is
Get the cat a litter box. It's not going away.
Yeah.
So strong work ethic. What do you think one of the biggest challenges you've had in your career, and how did you
Dancing wise, there's I feel like two big challenges. One's when I was dancing was like self-confidence. Because when I grew up in Australia, it was I was dancing at the same time as Jason Gilkison, the creator of Burn the Floor.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he was like a legend and a god in our country. And there was also some other massive talent like Paul Green, many dancers in Australia. It was like really a golden age back then. And so Paul Wilson, like loads of them. I can't even start naming them all. And so I was looking around at all of these people that were really, really brilliant. We just lost the lights.
We just lost the lights.
Yeah. So then, do you want to put the lights back on, or are we happy with this cozy lighting?
Okay,
nice. Keep
amazing.
going.
It's a good,
Nice.
yeah, it's a good thing I still had mine up.
Way back when, and the lights go dark. Yeah. Oh, and now Back to the Future. I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, we were just getting into the mood music.
So.
Break out
back
the Barry
there,
White.
Is I was intimidated. Like I loved watching all of these people, but I was intimidated by their skills. And I thought, gosh, I'm never going to be that good.
Wow.
And also, as I was growing up, because there were so many they were all Blackpool finalists. So I was always in the bottom of the pack of these finals, thinking like, there's no way I'm going to be better than these people. Right. However, I love dancing and really enjoyed it, and so wanted to do it. And then constantly through my career, I always felt like, I was at the bottom of the pack of like some amazing dancers. So I'm not humble. I was just like realistic. It's like I'm just not as good as these people, and it's
geographical vernacular. Okay.
Right. So then, when I moved to America and started dancing with Michael, I still had that mindset, and Michael kind of calls it an amateur mindset. It's just like bottom of the pack, hippie dancing, love my dancing, liked the lifestyle, enjoyed the friendships, but I didn't take it really seriously professionally enough, and I didn't have self-confidence. So he started changing my mindset. We got a sports psychologist who made us very professional. Like he was Olympic. He worked with Olympic teams, small teams like ice skaters, bobsled, or luge. Where it was like just 2-person teams, very close confined spaces. So he was an expert on how to get the best out of yourselves, how to structure practice. So changing into a true professional was one part, and then Michael had massive belief in me. And that was really like, huh?
He saw something in you you didn't.
Yeah, he really did. And so all of a sudden having somebody have more confidence in me than I had in myself and pushing me to become more professional and respectful of myself, of him, of the dancing, something started changing. And then I started having more belief and seeing myself as not like bottom of the pack. It's like, I could actually do this really well. So that was like, but it took me 16 years.
Yes.
Like from 8 to 24, I was definitely not in that place. So the challenge was like making that switch into being a true elite professional.
And I think so many people would be surprised hearing that from you, because I was thinking, Toni Redpath, wow, she's so great. Even the kangaroos notice her.
It was staged. It wasn't staged. Wasn't it cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
She had
Go
this
on
little
Facebook.
video. Yeah. Where it was funny because someone commented, the kangaroo said, wow, that's Toni Redpath.
No, the kangaroo was like, should I kick her ass? That's actually what it is.
So I just love
probably
that
what was going on.
about that, because no one would, I don't think a lot of people would know that, because you worked really hard. You're a beautiful dancer.
Thank you.
Yeah, very beautiful. Wonderful instructor. I really enjoy the instruction.
I was watching you, by the way. She is, you move like a cat out there.
So,
Thank you.
Yes.
You really do.
I love the honesty of that. You just you didn't feel that way.
No, as I say, 16 years, and it took a partner to believe in me. So I will say this: if there was a message, if you're struggling with your confidence, don't be dancing with somebody who makes you believe that you're no good.
Yeah, no good.
Because, that's really hard. I respect partnerships where you can see that they're not giving each other positive energy and they still manage to get the best out of themselves. But I would make a really big message of, if you can't figure out a way to be positive with each other, go and get help. Go and get a sports psychologist to train you how to be professional and respectful, so that you can become the most elite, best version of yourself.
That's actually a pretty good nugget right there.
Because it doesn't happen by accident.
No.
None of this happens by accident. You know, everything is like really hard work. Yeah, it's that you're not born with it at all, or not for me.
Yes, definitely not for me. Yes.
Yeah, no, and I would say there's maybe a 2% in the world, 1% that might be born with it. And even then, they still need to be trained on how to be professional.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, I can do this. So they don't have the work ethic.
Yeah.
They just don't have the work ethic.
Yeah. Oh. So that was probably the biggest challenge for me.
I love
like
that.
changing from an amateur to a professional.
Excellent.
That is actually a damn good nugget.
Very good. I know.
Yeah.
So I want to remember to talk about your competition coming in.
Thank you. Talk about the other challenge in my life. It's like fitting it all in. Like, so now it's like life is awesome. It's amazing. We've got so many incredible projects going on. So the second challenge is finding enough time to do everything properly.
Oh, time management now becomes an issue.
Time management, yeah. And I feel like going through our professional career and having the sports psychologist who would like break everything down into bite-sized chunks, like achieve this week, get better at this week, and then like have that solid and then do the next week. So it was like a really big part of our learning process is like, don't skip the simple stages.
Yes.
So now in life it's like, okay, we have so many fun, amazing, brilliant opportunities to expand Smooth globally, to build this competition, to like, you know, create, to help guide Smooth syllabus-wise in a new direction. So there's all of these fun projects. So it's like, okay, we don't want to do any of them half-assed. So we have to like kind of break things down into bite-sized chunks so that we can do them properly. So
and nobody eats an elephant full bowl.
Yeah, you got it, honey. Bite-sized chunks, bite-sized chunks.
Yeah, you eat that elephant a bite at a time.
It's nice because you caught me at a time of year where I'm like, just got through a massive wave of a lot of projects.
Yes.
And now it's like fun because I feel like, okay, now I can really focus on Beach Bash and give it 110%. And I love that comp. It's my baby.
I love the water skiing.
Gosh, that took so many takes. Timing the shark, getting us, you know. Yeah,
Were
that
you
photo
up,
shoot.
really?
Yes. Michael doesn't want, I can't lie, but Michael doesn't want me to say it was Photoshop. So yes, it was true. We were skiing. There was a shark jumping behind us.
Yeah. Damn animals.
I'm not that gullible.
Yeah, right. No,
they never jump when you want them to.
Yeah, I know. And then he would miss, then he would like bite us, and we're like, stop biting us.
Makeup.
We have so much fun putting our promo stuff together. I always say our business meetings just consist of a notepad and a bottle of wine. You know?
Hey, that's a good kind of meeting,
right? And then
you
the
can
next
get a lot of
morning,
compliments.
we're kind of looking. Yeah, I know. We wake up and we're like, that's a business plan. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that works. That's doable.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Well,
what are the dates of that?
The dates are the 10th to the 14th of April in San Diego. We are at the Hilton San Diego Resort and Spa. It's like this gorgeous hotel down on the water near SeaWorld. It's kind of central to a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's so fun there. If anyone's old school dancer like me, it totally reminds me of how the Fontainebleau was.
I love the Fontainebleau.
Right?
Oh my gosh, when they left the Fontainebleau, it was like...
It's never been the same again, right?
Yes,
Sorry,
for the
Wayne.
United States
I love
Championship.
USDC.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, we
it's
love
awesome.
Yeah, great ideas.
Yeah, no, love
The
USDC, but
Fontainebleau.
that time, talk about golden age again.
Yes.
So there's the pool and there's the fountain, like there's, you know, all of the kids stuff and there's beach right there.
Yes, beautiful.
So I feel like our comp is like a throwback.
I'll get back there.
Yeah, we're trying to make it, like, dancing is fun, right?
It's supposed to be. Yes.
Dancing is fun. I grew up in a beach town where everything's like super laid back. You're on the beach, then you're like, you know, you got sand in your togs and you go and like, then you go dance, right? So this is totally...
A gritty moment.
Yes, we'll just talk about it later. So it's definitely a throwback event where I feel like it's how dancing was for me when I grew up. Where you go in the ballroom, you're laughing, you're hanging out with your friends, and you're like, hey, I'm just going to do the cha-cha, I'll be back in a sec.
Right, exactly.
Do the cha-cha, and because you're so happy, like you dance really well, and then you come back and you like do a little sand sculpture, and then you hang out with the cruise directors, and then you get a massage, and then you go out and you do your rumba, and you're so relaxed and having such a good time, and then like on your off time, you can go down and play some beach volleyball or go by the pool. that everyone says it's actually a really intense competition, our event.
This makes sense to me now.
We have huge numbers of entries, and like even our men's scholarship is a full semi-final.
Wow.
Our open scholarship was like a quarterfinal. Our pro events one of our pro events was a first round.
Wow.
Like it's a huge, really intense, high-level event. But it doesn't feel intense.
Yes.
It just feels super fun. Everyone's having a great time. And that to me, it makes me feel like I'm home, or I've brought a little bit of Australia.
Sure.
How it felt like when I was growing up, like into America and into pro-am dancing and into comp here. So I'm really proud of what we've done with that event.
Sounds like fun.
Wow.
Put that on the calendar.
Put that
on the calendar. Put it on your calendar. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna love it.
You're gonna love it here.
Yeah, you're gonna have a great
Look,
time.
if you don't have a good time in San Diego, there's something just seriously wrong with you.
Right? This comp just fits into the vibe of the place. Beachy town, lots of fun things around, outdoorsy. Yeah, we just bring the
Beautiful
outdoors
weather
into the
all the
ballroom.
time?
Yeah, we have like on the LED screen. We had like last year the ballroom was like an aquarium. It felt like you were dancing inside a coral reef, and then on the
Nice.
LED screen there was sunrises and sunsets, and then on the tables it's like, you know, got the sand sculpting trays, and like everyone's got like shark fin costumes on, so it just feels like we just bring the outdoors into the
There
ballroom.
may be some wine involved.
No, I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no. yeah.
I'm just saying maybe.
Yeah, I'm just saying maybe.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
And this is the one thing we would like to talk about a lot, you know, about dancing should always be fun.
Yeah.
For the professionals, for the amateurs, we always should try to bring that to our students.
The performance side, I get it that the technique, there's a structured side to dancing. I always like to say that I love watching dancing, but watching somebody who's technically right without artistry is like, ugh. Or watching someone trying to be artistic without technique is like, ugh. But having that balance, having structure and technique and discipline, and then balancing it with the fun and the freedom
Sure.
and the artistry, it's like, you know, you need to have a little
The
bit of
artistry,
both.
yes.
Yeah, completely.
It's got to be elegant still.
It's just got to fulfill both things.
Right.
So when I'm teaching, I try and find like structure time, and then it's like, okay, you've been disciplined, like now let's play. Yeah, let's like enjoy it. Let's like take
Sure.
advantage of all of that. So same thing with Beach Bash. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background. A lot of like, we have a great team. It's actually super disciplined behind the scenes. Everyone knows their role. Everything's very scheduled. It might look like mayhem and madness in the ballroom, but it's totally scheduled mayhem and madness.
Sure.
There's a lot of thought that went into it.
Method to the madness.
Organized chaos is what it's called. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, and it's like you're saying, it's a big comp.
Yeah.
Everything's all, you know, top drawer, but it feels laid back.
Yes.
The only reason that happens is because you have the good people behind the scenes out here.
Seriously, our team is
that are
amazing.
They're sitting there making it happen.
Absolutely.
They make it look easy.
Exactly. Good people make it look easy, right?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's life, that's dance, that's comp. Yeah, that's everything. Yeah, it's like if you've done the hard yards and like know what you're meant to be doing.
Sure.
Yeah. And I feel like I have the best team in the world, just behind the scenes, but also with Michael and Jonathan. They're two best, you know, married to one of them, so he's obviously fabulous. The other one's been a, best friend of ours for over 20 years.
Yes.
You know, we know each other so well, and we all really know our individual roles. We know what our strengths are. Like Jonathan, don't tell him, but he's really great with people, and he's a wonderful person. Oh, that hurt to say. Yeah, right. Michael is.
But we have it on film now.
Yeah, boo. Okay. Well, we can't air this now. Yeah.
Edit.
Such a show. Yeah,
Edit.
Yeah. So Jonathan's wonderful with people. So he takes care of all of our staff. He's the liaison with the
Nice.
hotel. He takes care of all of our judges, our vendors. Michael is one of the smartest people I know. So anything with a cord, that's my honey. Right? You got one too. Smart. Yeah, it's like Michael does all of our graphics. He does all of our entries. He does all of the ticketing.
Wow.
He's self-trained. Everything, or anything that you see in our marketing, Michael does all of those graphics, and he's all self-trained. Yeah, I'm not saying that our poster was photoshopped, but if it was, Michael might have had something to do with it. But
Right.
it totally wasn't. It was totally just a photo taken.
Right. Perfectly
I'm still not
timed.
telling you on
Beautiful.
that, right?
I love it. I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't care how you do it. I like it.
And then I'm very much like the visual. So, you know, the marketing campaigns, like the ballroom decor, the trophies, the awards, you know, the certificates,
Beautiful.
the customer service, all
Sure.
of that stuff. So we just know our roles, and we just let each other get on with each of our roles. And
That's
we like kind of,
important.
as I say, we'll have our business plan that we kind of like can get together and drink some wine, and come up with like, hey, we should do this, and then we just let the person take care of it.
Nice.
Yeah. So
It's nice that you can. Well, yeah, it's nice you have a group that does that.
oh, seriously, dude, so good. Love it.
I'm like,
just
seriously?
like, yeah, it's like, oh, thank goodness I don't have to do anything on the computer, literally, because I can't. Yeah, there's no way. If it's
That's why I say,
dancing, if it's
Tony-
pretty.
Yeah, afterwards we're gonna edit the show. When I say we,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be taking care of it.
Yeah, let's not. Yeah.
I'm not supposed to say this, but she's rather proud of herself. What is it? A couple of weeks ago, she actually rebooted her computer
by
on her own.
myself.
On
I did it
her
myself.
own.
What? You're gonna have to show me how to do that.
I won't tell you how
Scandalous.
I
Yeah.
I was like, don't help me. I
Yeah.
can do it.
I say that all the time to Michael. I'm like, I can do this, and we call me the
It's
village
like-
idiot. Yeah, there's no way. They just, if ever they want to test something, they're like, here, see if you can break this. I'm like, nope, it must be fine.
Yep. She's been at it half hour. It still works.
She hasn't ruined it yet.
You're brilliant at other things.
I'm good at everything, right?
There we go. There we go. All right. Well, young lady, I know that you're very busy, and
Between
I'd like.
lessons, we appreciate
Yeah,
you
we
so
appreciate you.
much.
It's fun.
The one
having,
that
first of all, inviting us here. This is great.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
welcome to Champion Ballroom. It's
Yeah.
been my home for almost 30 years.
Wow.
Because I was 15 when I first came over to San Diego. That doesn't make me 45.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And then Champion was just opening, and so 30 years later.
This is an amazing space.
Yes, awesome, right?
You got a
Big
lot of room
ballroom,
here.
We've got this small studio. We've got this studio back here. It's like, I think, one of the best facilities in all of like the west coast of America, if not all of America.
Yeah.
Very blessed to have this space. 'cause
Thank you,
it's-
Mary.
Yeah, thanks, Mary. Yeah, yeah, it's nice to have competition-sized floor.
Oh, that's another one.
It's
We need.
teaching smooth.
I want to talk to Mary Murphy.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Got to get her
gorgeous.
behind here, get her story.
Right? Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, turn the volume down because she might laugh and scream. Yeah.
I'll
You
put
want
a-
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
clip-
just like mute button.
Yeah, I'll
You
just
wanna
I'll just
have that
clip
mute
it back
button.
here. I'll just ride the slide here. No big deal.
Yeah, I
She
love
starts
it when
getting
she's in the
animated.
studio. It's like all of a sudden the energy in the ballroom just goes up like 10 on the Richter scale.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, Toni, thank you for having us out, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Amy.
you,
Yeah,
Toni.
appreciate it.
Okay,
Yeah.
the lovely May, thank you
Thank
as
you,
well.
Jose.
We're going to go and
Wonderful.
enjoy this beautiful San Diego weather. So, folks, this has been another episode of Dance Teachers Academy. Thank you for watching.